It's been a black caviar fiesta out here at Belgrave South Recreation Reserve, and our EFL TV cameras have been given special access to this magnificent dinner. We're all over it here on EFL TV, all thanks to Ferntree, Gully, Holden and HSV, where driving and local footy means a great deal. Yes, a huge edition of EFL TV, all thanks to Ferntree, Gully, Holden, as always. And we're coming to you from the Belgrave South Recreation Reserve today because it's been a big day so far, and we're about to see an even bigger event as we celebrate Black Caviar and everything that is the South Belgrave Sporting Precinct. Peter Baird's with me, and Frosty, pleasure to be up here, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's great to be invited to a night like tonight to celebrate the career of the great mayor and a celebration of the South Belgrave community, as we said.
Speaking of celebration, the Knox Footy Club certainly has been celebrating. As we have a look at the Division 1 ladder, they had a great victory on Saturday against East Ringwood. A lot of people went into this game thinking that East Ringwood would be the improvers and they'd be able to get the chocolates, but Knox just, I think, surprised everyone in the end.
Well, it really opens up that race now for the best of the rest, really, because Lilydale, with their impressive win, they've sort of solidified their spot inside the top five, but Knox have closed that gap now, and you've got Knox and you've got Roval. They went down to Norwood on the weekend, but Knox, that's a fantastic win for them to really come in a game that no one expected them to win. East Ringwood have had fantastic form, and it's just a great shot in the arm for Johnny Knight and his boys.
Now, let's speaking of another shot in the arm, Scoresby defeated quite comprehensively East Burwood on Saturday. A great win for Scoresby, but it's almost inevitable now for the East Burwood Footy Club, Frosty. They're now 3 games behind every other team in Division 1. They sit on the bottom of the Division 1 ladder, not looking good for the Rams.
Oh, I've said it a few weeks ago. If they really had to win that game against South Croydon a few weeks ago, they weren't able to do that. Today's result, going down to a Scoresby side that have been disappointing in the last few weeks, they've got all the work ahead of them. They're now 3 games behind Scoresby in that relegation battle, and things aren't looking good for the Rams. They might play their 1000th EFL game in Division 2 early next year.
Frosty, let's have a look at the Division 2 competition, and more particularly the Division 2 ladder. And that top 4, well, looking at that now, pretty set, especially after Mooroolbark thumped Donvale. A really surprising result in terms of margin.
It was, and as you said, I mean, perhaps they're now a couple of games clear in 4th spot. Donvale had to win that game to maintain their hopes of playing finals. They weren't able to do that, so that's a real disappointment there for Graham Cuff and his boys. They really need to find something now because they've got their work ahead of them, and perhaps, as you say, that Division 2 top 4, that might be set.
Well, let's go to the bottom of the Division 2 ladder because it's now very much interesting because Upper Ferntree Gully defeated Belgrave on the weekend. Upper Ferntree Gully still a fair bit behind on percentage, but how do you read that bottom of Division 2 with Bayswater going down and, of course, Upper Ferntree Gully and Mulgrave all vying, well, not vying, but all wanting to avoid that relegation spot?
Oh, it is. I mean, there's so many clubs there, and you can probably throw the Waverley Blues in there as well, going down to Donny East, throws them back into that pack as well. But that's a fantastic result there for Andy Heyman's boys at Upper Gully. They needed to get a win. They've had some really poor results over recent times, only kicking 1 goal in a game twice. For them to get over the line and win by less than a goal, that's a fantastic result.
I'm here at the 2013 Culture and Leadership Forum, and I've been joined by one of the guest speakers this evening, none other than Hawthorn Premiership superstar, elite midfielder, Sam Mitchell. Sam, firstly, welcome to EFL TV. Obviously, a Premiership captain with the Hawks in 2008. It must be nice to get back out into your local eastern suburbs and share some of the lessons you've learned with some lovely people out here.
Yeah, it certainly is. I probably learned a few things out here with some of the experience in the room as well, and really looking forward to it. A lot of memories came flooding back on my way out here, a lot of grounds I played at, and thinking about all those games in the mud, and thankfully the grounds are all in a bit better nick these days.
Yeah, it's a bit of wet weather tonight though, and obviously what we want to talk about, a Mooroolbark product yourself, and probably one of our most proudest transitions from EFL footy to AFL footy. Can you just outline briefly for us your transition, your journey from the EFL into the AFL ranks?
Yes, I started under 12s at Mooroolbark and played all my juniors there up until under 16s, then went to Eastern Rangers. Didn't get drafted, so I went and played at Box Hill, and then from Box Hill got drafted and obviously played for 12 or something years at Hawthorn. So the EFL was, I guess, my first platform. to play genuine footy. Only played, it's called Vic Kick. I'm showing my age. I was kick now. Vic Kick back then. But that was where I learned all my skills, learnt my craft. I still remember going down on my first training session when I think I was about 11. Rocked up. I remember I rocked up and it was the under-14s night, not the under-12s, and I was very, very scared of all the big blokes. But I found my way. And Moorabaka are a great club, and I was very lucky that we had a little bit of success, won a premiership in the under-14s, and had a lot of good times with a lot of good friends from then.
It's fantastic to hear you talk about your EFL days, and we're here at the Leadership Forum tonight, obviously. Can you tell us, do you remember, obviously, who your coach was back then and who your captain was in the EFL at that time?
Yeah, my main coach for most of my juniors was a guy, Peter Mitchell, no relative or anything, and funnily enough, his son was the captain for that whole time, and his name was Matt Mitchell. I think his brother Cam still plays. I think Matt still plays. They were really good footballers, really good blokes, and great bunch of guys that I grew up with playing footy. And I played with Evan Hocking, who was probably the best player in our age group through all those years, and his brother Heath now at Essendon. So certainly been a big footprint on AFL through the EFL, just through my experience.
And I'll just ask, do you still keep a tab on the EFL when you get a chance? Do you still you said you like to come back and have a drive through and you get a lot of memories coming back, but the eastern suburbs obviously holds a place in your heart?
Yeah, certainly. Before I had kids, I used to go to the EFL games a fair bit. Now I've got the family to look after, so I don't get out to as many games as I'd like to, and I guess with the VFL, I have to go and watch Box Hill every now and then as well, so don't get it to as many games as I'd like to, but still probably see 2 to 3 games a year, which is good. Usually get to one around finals time. It's always got a great atmosphere, the local footy, and she'll kill me for saying it, but my wife always wants me to go so I can bring her home steamed Dim Sims. She thinks they've never been better than at the EFL, so keep that up.
Parko, thanks so much for joining us here on EFL TV. It must be great to come back and share some of your leadership experience with the local football, the local suburban football environment.
Oh, pleased to be invited and included as an old man amongst all these young people, but I'm fascinated to see that a crowd like this would turn up to what's a fairly nebulous thing that we're talking about. Not talking about kicking or defending or doing a zone or whatever else, but this is on building a quality club, and I think probably we're starting to think that way for the first time as a body of football. I know they do at AFL level, and I've been a part of it in some other clubs, but to think it's become a focus for clubs to build an organisation which attracts good people, I think it's fantastic. The concept, whoever thought of it, is good, and obviously by the numbers and the noise here right now, we've got some very interested people.
Most definitely, and just on that point of leadership and culture, it's an interesting point in Australia in general. A lot of people are saying, look, we've got a bit of a leadership sort of vacuum in society at the moment. What do you think about leadership in general around the country? And it is such an important thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think there's no doubt that is a strong argument, whether it's in education or in politics or in business or in sport. I think we've lacked the kind of strong leadership that this country deserves, and maybe we're not spending enough time in developing, because it is a development. It's a learned set of competencies like everything else in the world, and maybe we're starting to understand that, and the education system might give a little more energy, time, effort in curriculum to developing that. And some schools, I have to say, do it extremely well, but I think it's an adopted focus that we should have, so that all institutions in society, whether it's a church, whether it's education, whether it's business, or in our case, whether it's sport, we have people coming through that have the personal attributes and the professional competencies to do that particular task, because every organisation is dependent on leaders. Don't have good leadership in the significant roles, your company, your business, and everything else is in crisis. And the AFL is no different. The AFL level, teams that struggle, clubs that struggle, good players in good groups, but without good leadership don't achieve what they have the potential to do. So I think that's terrific.
And just finally, we wanted to link you back to the Eastern Football League somehow. We understand you taught our CEO, Rob Sharp, at primary school. Is that correct?
I did a very bad grade 4 or 5. I can't remember what it was at Ashburton Primary School. That's absolutely right.
He said you wouldn't give him a game in the footy team either.
That's probably right. So if he's incompetent and not providing the leadership, well, you can blame me.
And just quickly, your son Anthony, obviously general manager out of the Eastern Rangers, our EFL associated club in the TAC Cup. He's doing a very good job this year, and the Rangers are really firing at the moment.
Well, they have your ups and downs, I guess, on the talent that comes through. They had a good year a couple of years ago. They struggled last year, but I think got a terrific bunch of boys. I think that's what he's so pleased about, the kids coming through your system in the Eastern competition, Eastern League competition, is providing some really good talent for the future.
Look, David, we thank you so much again for your time and joining us on EFL TV. I'm really looking forward to hearing you speak some more tonight. Thanks again.
Let's have a look at the Division 3 ladder, Frosty, and this ladder just gets better to look at every single week because now we've got 4 teams who are all 7-2, locked in those top 4 spots in Division 3, and Baronia just 1 game behind in that 5th spot. This competition continues to get better and better, and the weekend's result was highlighted by Doncaster. They were outstanding.
Oh, they were. To defeat Mitcham like that, that's a great result for them, without Nathan Thompson as well. And, I mean, as you said, there's 4 teams now, 7-2. We spoke about how even Division 3 was last year. It's proving to be the same again this year, and if you can pick the Premier at this stage of the year, you're a better man than I, Benny Waterworth.
As you blokes should see, our facilities probably lag a long way behind a lot of the other clubs, and we're sadly missed by our local council and local government and federal government. So they set us a target to raise $100,000, and then we can go back and put our case forward. So today's a big part towards that, and the boys are playing in the black Caviar jerseys, and good to see they're 7 goals up because the jerseys, those colours have never been defeated.
We were saying that beforehand. They want to try and keep up the black Caviar tradition up and going. What do you think of the jumpers? They look pretty good, don't they?
They actually came up better. I was thinking it'll be a bit of an eyesore, but they actually blend in quite well. And when they're 7 goals up at half time, they look bloody so much better. But, you know, that's going to be a big part of our earn too. These jerseys, we're going to auction 5 tonight at our Sportsman's Night, and we're going to put 20 of them online. And I think we're in about our 5th year in EFL now, and we've slowly climbed through the ranks. We're Division 4, we don't kid ourselves, but we got to the final last year, and let's hope this is our year this year, and we can slowly climb through the ranks. But with that comes responsibility to present a facility that people want to come and play at and people want to come and view footy, and this day and this evening is a big part toward that. We've got a primary school over the road with 350, 400 kids. That's bigger than our community. So if we can create a better sporting precinct, it'll be tremendous.
For a man who's done so much travelling and you're up at all kinds of hours in the morning, the South Belgrave community and the sporting precinct here means, from what I hear you say, so much to you. Where does this passion drive from?
Oh, well, this is me. I'm a local bloke, you know. I'm a backyard barbie and beer sort of a bloke. I'm not a Toorak Road trainer. And, you know, this is me all over. I'm a bush boy, and, you know, this is probably as close as you get to bush to Melbourne. You know, we're up in the hills and we get called all sorts of things up there, hillbillies and banjo players and that, but we're very proud.
It's incredible. It really is. 375 plus, Ben. Peter Moody says, let's do it, and everybody just goes bang. As you can see, Lion Nathan got behind it, Sporting Bet got behind it, Harry the Hirer, they've put up this fantastic marquee for us, big screens, it's just fantastic.
And what's the whole purpose behind the event tonight? Because it's not just about sort of celebrating the horse or anything like that, it's a bit more than that.
Yeah. Ben, we've got a master plan that's gone through council. The council have asked us to, we've got to contribute more than $100,000 to get it rolling. Peter Moody just said, right, let's have an event. So here we are.
And what are you expecting out of the night? We've got plenty of big name guests here, 375 people. It might be a long one.
Look, I've seen Sam Kekovich a couple of times. He's always good. He really is. And you know Moods. He can tell a story with the best of them. Jason Richardson, Rupert McCall, Gerard Waitley. He just loves black caviar, as we saw the other night. You know, she's special. Look, we've got some very good people, both local, and we've got a federal member here. We've got a state member here, the local council. It's really good.
All right, we've got 4,500 here. I'm looking. Cole, it's worth a fortune now. 4,500. Can I see 5,000? Come on, brother.
South Belgrave up the top of Division 4, undefeated, 8 and zip they are. They were outstanding today, and I think the most impressive thing is that they were clinical from the first bounce. In that first quarter, they was dominant.
They were. They set the tone very, very early on. They came out. They were definitely up and about for today's game. They really hit Ferntree Gully hard. They limited them for space. They stopped their run and carry that's been a trademark of the Ferntree Gully game, and then they just put them to the sword and really put scoreboard pressure on them. And Ferntree Gully, although they came back late in the game, were never able to challenge South Belgrave. They deserve their spot on top of the Division 4 ladder because they're clearly the best side in Division 4 at the moment.
Time for the EFL TV Play of the Week. Of course, had a week off last week because there was only the one game, Balwyn and Noble Park. Some great highlights. You saw that last week. But some more great highlights this week across round 9 of the Eastern Football League. Check these out.
Towards the scoreboard, the chasers on McCombs there with O'Neill. O'Neill got around. Little kick. Oh, what a goal. He slotted that on his left, close in on the boundary line and says, no, boys, I don't centre. I just bang him in from here.
The kick goes to the top of the goal square. It was a bit of a centering kick. We wanted abs. Snap around the body by Odermatt over the head.
No.
Like a cork in the ocean. Fantastic stuff there, Lee Odermatt.
We found another nomination for the best haircut in the Eastern Football League, Frosty, and we couldn't help but notice a certain haircut running out at Belgrave South Recreation Reserve today. This man's got some serious work to do on those locks of his.
Oh, some serious issues there from his barber, I reckon. The dreadlocks tied up. Not a good look there from Jayden Thorpe from the Ferntree Gully Eagles.
Well, Frosty, it's been an outstanding day here at the Belgrave South Recreation Reserve, celebrating all things that is South Belgrave and all things Black Caviar and all things Peter Moody. This man means a lot, no doubt, to the South Belgrave community.
Oh, he does, and it's a fantastic reception they've put on out here for us. I love coming up here to South Belgrave Footy Club, and what a fantastic function it was tonight.
The radio game this week will be Roval, I should say. They'll be hosting Lilydale at the Knox Gardens Reserve, and we'll be out there for EFL Game Day. So make sure you tune in from 1 till 6 p.m. on 98.1 FM EFL Game Day. Frosty, hope you've enjoyed the day. Look forward to chatting to you next week.
Oh, it's been a big, big day, Benny, but I'll be back next week to do it all again.
Thanks, mate. See you next week.